FMTraining.tv. My name is Margaret. I'll be your broadcast engineer for today. Hope y'all are doing well. Hope y'all are having a lovely day. Hi, Nick. How you doing?
Hello, I'm doing good, thank you. And yourself?
Good. Pretty good, thank you.
Okay.
We're back to another week. Actually, August is almost over. It's the last week of August. What happened? What happened to August? Today we're doing FileMaker Layout Naming Conventions Day 1 and Day 2 this week. With that being said, real quick, if you'd like to support the channel, feel free to pick up one of these options down here. If you have already, thank you very much. If you haven't, give them a look. They're a really amazing way to learn FileMaker from basically, if you know nothing, to getting a really good intermediate level understanding of the platform, being able to develop your own stuff for yourself or for companies if you need it. We cover a huge variety of topics, and the videos are super detailed, and they are very short. So if you're like, I really don't like the live stream format, you'll probably like our video format much better. With that being said, I think we're good. Nick, what are we doing today?
Yes. So
Want to
today
share
we
your
do,
screen?
yeah, I'm going to share my screen. Today, so portion, maybe I can make it smaller a little bit.
There
Oh
we
yeah,
go.
yeah. So last week we talked about the naming of the table and relationship and fields and stuff like this. Okay, so this week we're going to talk about layouts, okay? But we're not going to talk just about naming the layout. We're going to talk about naming the layout and organizing the layout as well. Okay. So layout are fully part of the schema, right? So they're not just something to show fields, they have many roles, right? So not just something you can just enter the data and that's it. No, they have other roles, right? So that means we will have many layouts. We don't have just one or two, we have many layouts. And we should have as many layout as it needed, right? Building layout, having layout is not a problem, you know. The problem is when you don't have layout, when you don't have enough layouts. And the problem is when you use layout for what they're not intend to, So first, let's define what's a layout. A layout is like a screen, right? A window where you can display fields from a table of occurrence. Okay. So a layout points to something here in this relationship map. So any occurrence, I can have a layout that points to, right? Can I have a layout that points here? Can I have a layout that points here? Can I have a layout that points here? Everything that is here, I can have a layout. Okay? So a layout points to a table of occurrence, right? Table occurrence. But they don't point to a table, correct? So that's very important. We have table here, right? But the layout don't point to this, right? Layout points to something here in this relationship. Okay, so it's very important because sometimes we can get confused, when we create a new layout, right? And the new layout, right? And he said, okay, show record from, right? So, and this is, like I said, here we have everything in the relationship, right? We can point the layout to, okay? So, and we can name the layout. So we can have 10 layouts that point to the same occurrence, right? And we can have many layouts or one layout that point to a different occurrence, but we can point a layout to a different occurrence of the same table, right? For example, this occurrence here, for example, points, we can go here, points to contact, but this one as well points to contact, right? This one points to contact, right? And so I have this one also point to contact. So I can have many occurrences that point to the same table, right? So what will make the difference, right? So what will make the difference if I point to this occurrence, right? Or this occurrence, what will be the difference, right? Well, very important, because that means your layout will be seated, in the context, right? So this is why we need now to learn about the context, right? What the context? A context is, for example, if I point the layouts to these TO5 contacts, right? Pretty much I have access to everything here, right? So let's do a demonstration. Let's say I'm doing, I'm creating a new layout, right? And let's say a contact test again. And I point to TO5, okay? So if I create a layout from here, right? If I go there, right? I have all the fields from that table. So I can, put fields from here. I can put field from here, right? I can do this. And also, I have access to all of those fields, or all those occurrences. So I can pick, for example, this, and pick the company name for the user, for example, right? So this is a local field from the TO5, and this one is a related field, right? That's why I have the double column here, right? So because this layout go to the TO5 context, this is the context I'm in here. So I have access to all of this. Let's say now I'm going to, I don't know, or where I have another, for example, I'm going to contact. Do I have another contact here? I don't have another. Here. If I create a new layout, right? And create new, and I'm using this, that this context here also go to contact, right? I mean, the table where I have the fields will be contact, but from a different context, okay? So that means I will have access to other fields. When I go here, I have access to this, but I will have access to other occurrence, right? So I have access to this, but there will be related fields. You understand? So I'm starting from another context, right? So it's very important to know how to organize the layouts. So, do we have a question?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
So you're good.
Yeah. So why this matter? For example, when you organize your layout, right? It needs to be organized in a way where you can gather together everything that belongs together. Okay? For example, here in the relationship, I have a world here, right? This is a world, correct? This is a contact world. Okay? So I have the beginning of the world, and then I have all the satellites here, all the related, right? So this obviously is where I'm going to start if I want to edit fields and edit data on the contacts table. This is the occurrence I'm going to use. Okay? So this is how you organize your layout. So let's clean a little bit those. Let's delete those two. Let's delete those two. I don't want to pollute. This is a real field, so a real file, so I don't want to. Okay, so this is the world contacts, right? So I have different worlds. I have contacts, company, documents, system, users. So pretty much this, right? They are those users, contacts, companies. So I have those here, contact, companies, document, system, users, right? So I'm gathering together, right? I'm recreating the world, but from the contact perspective, okay? So I'm creating a folder for each entities. This is how we call that, an entity. I have a contact entity, companies entity, document entity. Pretty much, this is the access points for data entry, okay? So here, for example, on contacts, I have a layout, right? Name, contact data entry, okay? I have the same for the company. I have companies data entry, right? And I have document data entry. And system, I have system data entry, okay? So, see here, I'm always using the same terminology, data entry. Why? Okay, because this is what they are. Those are data entry. This is where you go and you put inside, you put your stuff, right? You edit your names, your contact, whatever, right? So that's why I'm asking for this. So when you have a lot of layouts, you don't have many ways to look for your stuff. Okay, so that's why we don't have many ways to organize layout. We have folders and we have this search field here, right? So if I want to say, oh, I want all the data entry layouts, boom, they're all here, right? Correct? So I just type data entry and all my data entry, right? So that's why it's important to have the same, to have the discipline in the naming, right? Consistency in the naming, contacts data entry, company data entry, right? Don't call sys, sys, or main, or doc entry data, because otherwise, well, if this is named another way than this one and this one and this way, you have no consistency, and you have no way to retrieve your stuff, right? It's a big giant mess. Okay. So when you name your layouts, right, you need to pick a number. You need to pick a number to say, okay, this is the range, right, for the contact layouts. For example, here I select the L100, right? Those are the layouts, right? For I don't know why I said the 210, the L110 here, where it should be another, but it's okay. So here you have the L100. So this is for contact data, you know. This is for your contact. Then you have the L110 and the L600 and the L184 on 840, and then you can pick your number. Okay, pick a number. Can be whatever you want. You know, like I said last week, why this is L100 840 is because since 25 years now, the L140 in my development, they're all system. You know, L100 840 since 25 years, 30 years, I'm using the same number. So I know, you know, this is my stuff. You know, you can have your own. You don't need to follow mine. So why you have this number? Well, let's say I have another layout for contacts, you know. Let's say I have another layout for the contact, so I duplicate this one, right? If he wants to, I shouldn't have duplicated this one, it's slow. Yeah, here I have an example. So let's say, for example, I have the layout for the document data entry, and I have a layout for the document view search. Well, I have L for layout 600 and L for layout 601. And then if I had another one, it would be 602, 603, 604, etc. Like, for example, here, if I want like a list view, for example, you know, if I have a list view, I would have called this one 101. Correct? L101, L102, 103, 104, right? Until 110, because, but I don't expect to have 9 layout for contacts, you know, or 10 layout. You understand? I don't expect that. That's why I'm doing this, because I can link together, you know. So the L100 and the L110, you know, is contact company. This is quite together. Contact company, company contacts, right? They are together, right? So I will use the 200, for example, in the future for case project, for example, right? Case project, so that will have 200, 210, right? And 230 if I have case projects, inquiries, because this is what the customer wants, right? So I will have 200, 210, 220, 230, you know, like this. I will have different worlds, right? Case like this, you know, so you build and you try to have a smart numbering system to group things together. The L100, the L100s, this is together, like contact companies, you know, or everything, anything you want to group within this, you know, world stuff, right? So you can use the L200 to 210, 220, 230 to, you know, to group things like this. But let's say for example here on contact, I have 100, 101, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I can use it. Okay? Because after that, I'm changing world. So be consistent with this numbering, you know? Be consistent. Why? But why? For this. Okay, I want all, let's say I want all the worlds for contact. L, right? Like this. So I have the contact here, right? So I have here, I have those and those, but mostly I have this, right? So I have those. Understand? So those are things I need to remove, and this is a work in progress. Really, normally I don't have this problem here. So you got the point here. So you have things that you can link together. Okay. Also, so do we have question here?
Huh. No questions. I think we're good. Yeah, no, I would keep going. Sorry, I'm looking at like there's some audio issues potentially. So I think I don't know what I don't think it's on our end though. So I'm gonna let you keep going.
Okay. So let me know. Okay. So after that, so you see here, I have something that I'm repeating over and over and over. Tables, context, called. Table, context, called. Tables, context, called. What? Sometimes I'm adding something. Tables, context, but this always come, you know, it comes. Okay. So let's explain something here. Very important, because this will help you understand all the webinars that we are going to do during this series of naming and oriented objects developments technique, right? So you need to learn that. So what is the table? What is the context? What is the code? Okay. So let's start with tables. When we create a table in FileMaker, I'm going to create one. Let's test. I'm creating a test, a table test one, I'm creating a test. I create a table. Create. Okay. Brand new table. Right? Automatically, FileMaker creates a TO, a table of occurrence, with the exact name of this table. Okay? Automatically, FileMaker create this. Right? And if I'm validating now, so let's create another one. Let's say I'm creating the test 2. Okay? I'm creating another one. So I create test 1, test 2. Right? So I have test 1 here. And where test 2 should have created a. Okay, so let's validate those. So I have test 1 and test 2. I've created 2 new tables. I clicked OK. Skip. Okay. So now what happened when I create this? Okay. I have in my relationship, I have test 1, but why I don't have test 2? This is weird. I don't have. Oh, it's there. Okay. So I have test 1, test 2, right? So I have 2 occurrences that has been created automatically with the name of the table that I create here. Okay. Also, FileMaker created automatically two layouts, right, that points to that test one, test two occurrence, right? So FileMaker creates automatically, right, the occurrence. So you create a table, the occurrence is created, and the layout that points to that occurrence created as well. This is what I call, so let's say I have a new world test. Okay. So let's create a world, like a group folder. So if I create this, inside this, I'm going to create another folder. Name tables. Inside this, sorry, and I'm going to put those two layouts, and I'm putting the inside. And I don't rename them. I don't change the occurrence, and I keep them as is. I keep them as is. And I put them in the table layouts. So if I go to the company table, what do I have? All the occurrence, all the default layout that points to the default TO of that table. Okay? So this is defaults, right? If I go to the table in contacts, this is what I have. Contact edit, add. So I have all in that world, in the contact world, right? Well, I want together the contact edits, the address, the contact identifier, and something the customer want me to do. Okay? But those are layouts that points to this TO here, this. But as you can see, those TOs here, they have something in common. What it is? What do they have in common, those TOs? They have two things in common. No?
Yes.
You? So, people typing? What do they have in common?
What do they have in common, everybody? Lynn's typing. No relationships.
Okay, that's the first thing. They have no relationship, right? So I'm sure that those occurrences, if these layouts, I can go to these layouts, right, and use them without the fear to have any problem with a relationship, right? So they have in common to have no relationship and to be named as the table, right? Because here's the catch. If I keep this occurrence named as the table, if I rename the table, let's say I put a 1 here, right? Change. And here I put a 2, right? I change the name of the table. Automatically change the name of this. If I change the name of this, right? And now I'm going, it still points to this, but now we have a separation, a disconnection between the names. Okay. Well, if I go there and I'm changing, which one is the T2? Okay. And if I go there and I'm changing the name here, well, it doesn't sync anymore because this occurrence now is no longer named the same as the table, right? So to make the connection again, I need to do this. So that means I need to name in the same, right? So now now that the name here is equal to the table name. So if I go there, if I change the name again, if I do change, boom. It is in sync again. It works exactly as a field name and the label in the layouts. It works the same way. So I don't want those tables, those layouts that I put in a table folder. I want them to be pure tables, same name, no relationship. So because I want to be able to say, okay, I go to the table contacts, right? And I have a pure layout without any context, right? So that means without any relationship. So that means I am confident, right, that I can do whatever I want there without to mess relationship. Okay? So you will say, okay, why you need such layouts, right? Most of the time to do, data cleanup, import, export, data, cleanup, stuff in bulk, right? That's why you need that. You need those layouts. They are pure layout without any relationship. That means if I start with this contacts table layout, all the relationship from here won't work. That means I won't mess up anything, right? I can do whatever I want. I won't mess up anything, right? This is why I need these table, layouts. When you don't change this, keep them as is, right? When you create a table, like I just did, you create a table, automatically that will create a TO, and automatically that will create a layout. Keep them as is, and you put them and you group them into the world they belong to. Okay? For example, this is everything for company, company edit, and company, contact company. Here it's contact edit, address, contact identifier. This is a contact world. This is a company world. This is a document world, right? This is a system world. I have all the system, the privilege, the error code, the value list, the navigation, the preference, all of this is the system, right? So you group your tables, your pure, unmodified, no GMO, not genetically modified tables, right? You keep them as is. Right. For all the table you have. Now, questions?
No questions, people absorbing at the moment.
Yes. So, for example, when you want to let's say you want to import data you want to import pure data without any interference, from a relationship and calculation. You want pure data import or pure data export, and you want to make sure that you have okay. So why I don't use this one? Why I don't use this contact stuff? Why I have this one? Well, let's say I have here I have a scripts, right? Let's say I have a pieces that goes to the contacts, right? It goes to the contact, right? Like, for example, here, I'm going to the contact TO5. I'm going to the layout TO5, right? Why I'm not going to the layouts? Because TO5 go to the TO5 table, right? Associated table TO5. Why I don't go to the L100? Well, why do you want me, right, to the server to open this giant layout with all those things, right, and triggers all those script trigger on record load, on commit, on layout enter? I don't want that to happen. I don't want, when I use the layouts in a script, go to the layout. I don't want auto entries. I don't want triggers. I don't open a very simplistic layout for performance, right? You understand? You don't want to have related table portals with hidden state stuff. You don't need that. It's on server, right? So you need access point to your solution with lighter layout, right? So that's why we have the table. But you remember, I told you, tables are great because they are virgin, they are pure, they have no connection, they are disconnected, they are pure data. That has advantages, but also some and many disadvantages, many problems. That means if I do things from that context, CON contact, I have absolutely no relationship working. That means all this relationship that goes to, I don't know, like this one, I don't know, not this one, but all the relationship, now this one will work, but all the relationship, like maybe this one, all the calculation with these relationship here won't work. Why? Because this relationship will work if I'm landing in this one, because this one is connected to this CON contact, right, is connected to nothing. So if I'm starting from a layout from here, all these T15, some TO5 something won't work. They won't work, right? That's why you need the context folder. I want a layout, I want a light layout, mostly in table view mode, right? I want a layout for the context. All my context, TO5 contacts. So now this is a layout, is pretty much the same as this one, right? But this one starts with contacts, this one starts with TO5 contacts. So two layouts, same data from two different contexts. The CON contacts, I'm starting from here, and that means pure virgin data, no connection, nothing. Okay? That's good for some stuff, but not for many of things. What I need, it's a light layout that starts from here. Then I can have all those working, right? That's why I create those layouts. I name them the context. I name them with the name of the context. That means this TO5 contact layout that I named it with the same name as this one. In property character, this is capital, but it's the same, TO5, okay? Also, I have all the context. I need TO6 and T18. This name, okay, is the same as the world is attached to. T18, oh, okay, sorry, stop. So T18 is this. Are you there, or do I?
Yes.
Oh, okay, no, sorry, because I did a shortcut and he hit the Zoom stuff. Okay, so the T18 is contact identifier. So this is T18 contact identifier. Go to that. Okay, so I have a layout available for the T18 data. So I have layouts available to me where I can go to with scripts, but I don't have a T18 contact identifier data entry layout. I don't. This table is not a table where you go and you enter data like this. No, it's a table that I use internally for my own stuff, but the user doesn't have access, but I do have an access. These here are data entry and list view, whatever, right? That goes to the TO5. Yeah, but they have triggers and they big layouts with a lot of buttons and the navigations and a go-to layout in the script on the server, for example, a PSOS, I don't need buttons, I don't need auto entries, triggers. I don't want that to happen, right? So I have a dedicated layout, and I name it the name of the world. Then I know where to go. I know what it is. If you stop naming this, this is the layout I'm using to access the contact from the context. No, TO5. Why? Because I want to go to the TO5 layout. TO5. Boom. There I have two. Why? Because I have the TO5 contacts and I have the TO5 quick find, where I have a different presentation, and in that layout, I'm showing only these fields. right, is because it's for the quick find stuff. I want to perform a quick find in these fields only. So I have a dedicated layout. Sometime, you can have like here, for example. Okay. Like here. Sometime I'm in contact here. I go to context and I have a dedicated one, a tier 5 that goes for Pisoses. I want my own for Pisoses. Is for performance, because there's nothing in this layout. I don't show anything. I don't display anything because I don't need to display anything. This happened on the server. So if I display anything, that means super performance. That's the fastest possible because I'm showing nothing, right? I just need the layout to have an access, but I don't need to display. Sometimes, I'm working on something complicated. Let's say you work on something complicated and you need a layout like this for you debug stuff, to debug, right? Only with the fields you need to see to fix something. So you have one layout and you show only the fields you want. You don't want to show all the fields of all the table. No. You want to focus on some field. You don't want the 300 field. You want to focus on some fields because those are fields you're working on. So I call those debug, filter, debug this, debug that, right? So this context stuff, right? So you need those layouts to go there and do things and get all the relationship to work, right? You have the tables. Also, you have the context, right? For example, I need a layout with the T302 context. Why? Because I want to be able to go to the T302 and I have, like T302, right? And I want to have the A, B, C. I want all those relationships to work. If I don't have an access to that layout, I don't have access to those. You understand? Right? So, any questions?
We followed on, everybody? Comments, concerns? Okay. I think we're good for the moment. You've done a pretty
Okay.
good job of explaining it. So
Yeah. So now, something I want to explain to you. In FM starting point, okay, we do a management, for, let's say, for beginners. So let me bring the FM starting point, FM starting point. Do I have a use local version? I don't know if it's it's an old version. I don't care. So we have FM starting point. We have a mouse layout, right? And then, we do like, we have the contacts like this. And then we have, so there's no, organization like I do, the context, right? And and sometimes, where are the reports and stuff like that? So everything, okay, you see what here you have the report, the search. Okay, so this is hard to navigate and hard to read and to search. Okay, so, but this is for beginners. So we need to go a little bit further in the organization. Okay, so that's why first you need to be consistent in your grouping, organization, and let's say foldering. Okay, so why is it good to organize with folder? Okay, let's say I'm here. Okay, so first this menu here is better like this. Okay, it's you understand. Okay, so what happens if I'm in contacts and I'm calling this manage layouts? Okay, well, boom, it shows me this layout. Okay, this one. Let's say I'm going to companies from here. I'm in company, right? And I'm doing the same thing. I'm showing manage layouts. Boom. Now it bumped me to this layout. So why this is cool? Because, okay, automatically FileMaker brought me here. That means that I am in the company folder and I have all the things for company here, right? More likely, it's good that if I'm bringing this layout, this dialog, boom, I'm in company. So I say, oh, I want to see this one, for example, or this one, right? Or this one, right? And you can open it, right? So if I'm here and I'm going to system, for example, right? So now automatically, so I'm bringing this system here, automatically, if I'm bringing this layout, boom, I'm in system. Okay? So that's why, if you scatter all your stuff, if you don't have a good grouping, well, you have one part here, another part here, another part down, another part up, everything is messed up, everything is, is all, so you can retrieve your stuff like this. When you have a large, if you have a large list of layout like this, that's the problem when you have this such a big screen, is when you do this is okay. So right, so when you have a lot of things, right, so you need to have something like this, right? Before it was not really well organized. Now it is, puzzle. I have all the the 100, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so those are all stuff, but I have backups. So why I have backups? Sometimes I modify a layout, I duplicate the layout to keep a copy of the current layout, and then I modify the layout in case of I need to go back and recover things. And sometimes I'm recovering the whole thing. I recover I mess up completely. I say, okay, I recover. That's why I have a backup. You duplicate the layout, you keep a copy as it is right now, and then you modify the layout, but then you have a copy in case you need to recover things. I have my tables, right? I have my context, right? I have my reports, right? So report is R as report, no L, right? So this is L, layout, this is reports, okay? So it's good. Print out. This is P. It's a print out. R, report. L, layout, right? And of course, for context, okay, it's T, I don't have a C for context because it's table. T it's the name of the world, right? But here I have cards. So what are cards? They are card style windows. They're layouts you use as card style, like this, for example, right? This is a card style window, like this, So when you have, this is a list, it's a card style, right? Let me bring one like this here. Not, let me go. Oh, hold on a second. Okay, here. Let me bring the one here. Okay. So what is a card style? This is a card style. Card style window. Okay, this is a card style window. So layouts are used for card style, for cards. I call them C something, I call them C as card. And at the same time, at the end, I'm giving the information, this is a card. Okay? It's important. It helps to understand, because, of course, I can do this. This is all my cards. See? And thanks to the C, 100, 200, 300, 600, they are grouped together. Document. Okay? All of those is contact. All of those. I know, because they are all under 100, right? I mean, those are contact. Those are companies. C110, remember, because I'm following the numbering, right? L100, L110, L100 to L109, this is contact. L110 to, this is company. Same for the card, from one here and here, 110 like this. It's very, very important to keep the naming, right, to follow. It's help, right? Because, okay, I don't remember the name of the card, but I remember C, right, 110. All of those are for companies, right? They all belong in the company world. They all belong in the card in the company world, right? If I want the C like this, right? All of those, they belong in the contact world, right? So thanks to the name, right? The numbering, and you don't really care about this stuff anymore. At one point, when for example, you here, okay, and you have this window, and with this system, if you use this way of organizing your layout, right? You will start thinking differently. Go to layouts. Which layout I want to go? Oh, I want to go to C104. That's it. Because if you want to go, oh, yeah, I want to go to message. Okay, which one? Which one? Oh, you need to do this. And which one? And which one here? Which one? If you don't have this number in here, right? So
Yeah.
now you know. Now you know. This message contact card belongs to the TO5 contact. This one message contact card belongs to the T20 companies. And this one, and here you can see the organization, the hierarchy. You have the organization, so you call by the this one. You want this one, boom, and you have it, right? Because the name, help you because you have this numbering system and the letter CLRP, right? Very, very, very important. So the thing here is that thanks to all of this, you now have a very powerful filtering search system, right? And now you can use this. You can use this because you say, okay, I want all the contacts, poof, right? Or you want contact cards, boom. So this menu, which is a big mess to me, right? But now we can use it. Why? Because let's say you want to go to system, boom. Now you want to go to contact, boom, contact. Yeah, the only one. I want to go to company, boom. I want to go to user, boom. I want to go to system, So if you have a bigger solution like this one, right? So where you want to go? You want to go to parcels, you want to go to users, you want to go to system, you want to go to contacts, you want to go to company. I don't have. I have company here. Yeah. You want to go to sites. See how you navigate now? Because this is well organized. So now, because this is unusable or almost, right? But now you can because, you want to go system, boom. You want to go company. You want to go contact, right? So contact or country. Okay. So, right? You want to go to letters, to dockets, to hearings. Hearings. I don't have hearings. That weird. I don't have earrings. Well, hearings dockets. Sorry, yeah, it's dockets the same, right? Dockets, both. So, any questions?
No, I think this has been a good presentation. I don't see any comments on it, so I assume people have been following along. So.
Sure, I put everybody to sleep.
I don't think that's the case, but
I mean, it's nothing extraordinary, but
it's
you need to.
important. It's
It's
especially
yeah,
becoming super important with AI because AI will
no,
now read your databases.
not only this, but you have a consistency
Hmm.
because if you don't use consistent name, it's and if you don't have those number system, this numbering system, if you don't have this, forget about it. It's impossible. Yeah, when you have free layout, that's okay, right? But when you have like hundreds, you know, and you do need those layouts, uh, those let's say uh, utility layouts, right? Where you have the layout for the people to get in and type and enter data, and then you have your own layout you can go to and don't be afraid, and you don't have those giants, never use a layout, a data entry layout when on the PISOs or on the layout, go to this one, search for this and replace, those scripts. You never use a data entry layout. Never use a layout where you have something red here, right? Never. This means you have a trigger. You have trigger on the layout, right? So you don't want that to be used, right? So that's why you have the context table layout, right? And you have the tables, which this is different, right? I explained to you. Context, the code, the printout, the reports, whatever you want to call them, right? And but tomorrow we continue a little bit on this, and I'm going to show you how you can use the name to make a selection of layouts calculated to make the where you want to go calculated, and depending on many situations, right? Okay.
Yes, I think that makes perfect sense. Cool. Seriously, Nick, thank you very much. I think this has been a good.
Thank you.
What I need is the discipline to stick to the naming convention.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I understand. It takes time to type those things, and but it's all the time you're going to waste for this. This means like hundreds of hours, thousands of hours saved in the future,
Yes. No,
and and debugging and less bug, and of course, right? Our we go. I'm going to learn to. We're going to arrive to a webinar. We talk about commenting and stuff like this. Well, why you need a comment where the name of the layout tells everything. Don't need a comment, right? So that's for another story, another day. So tomorrow we continue.
yes, absolutely. People are saying thank you. Thank you,
Thank you,
Nick,
thank
for
you,
doing this.
thank you. No problem.
All right, everybody. Have a good one.
Thank
We
you.
will see you all tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Bye bye.
Bye.